Hamas attacks on Israel in October sent shockwaves around the world, and the ripples are testing regional stability, global alliances and world trade. Barbara Slavin is a distinguished fellow at the Stimson Center here in Washington. She spoke to my colleague Asieh Namdar about the repercussions.
It's kind of, out of the blue in a way. I think a lot of folks expected this war might expand into Lebanon, but not into the Red Sea. The area that's being targeted, some 12% of international trade flows up, into the Suez Canal from the Red Sea. So it is a serious disruption of trade. It's going to increase the costs of trade for everyone around the world. And it is a sign that the Houthis, of all people, turn out to be the most active in the Arab world in terms of stepping up to support the Palestinians. We haven't seen anything like this from any of the other Arab countries that normally one would expect would step forward.
Let me also talk about this coalition led by the United States. More than 20 countries have joined it, basically to protect the Red Sea. Bahrain, the only Arab country to be a part of it. Why is there such a reluctance from other Arab allies? It seems none of them really want to be viewed, perhaps, as acting in defense of Israel.
Yeah, I think you've hit on something. You know, it's interesting. We had a piece on our website, Middle East Voices, about the Saudis and how they had been playing a bigger role in these maritime coalitions. But they're nowhere to be seen in this one, despite the fact that they're building up their navy. And I think that is telling. I think it does suggest a discomfort with U.S.-led alliances at a time when the United States is supporting Israel so strongly. Also, may I say, China is not part of this coalition, and China, of course, is one of the world's major trading countries. So where is China in this? Why isn't China joining this coalition?
And of course, they have their own reservations. But let me move on to, I don't know, I mean, do you think these types of coalitions are even effective in containing the Houthis and prevent them from firing commercial shipping lanes? I mean, or is it just simply a Band-Aid?
No, I think they are effective. And, you know, the Houthis have shot off a lot of rockets and drones. They haven't hit much, fortunately. And that is because the United States, primarily, has been willing to counter the Houthi attacks and shoot down all of these drones and rockets. I see it more as a kind of political statement by the Houthis. They seem to think that they are bigger than just Yemen. And they have been, of course, very anti-Israel for a very long time. I was just reminding myself of their slogan, which is, "God is great, death to America, death to Israel, a curse upon the Jews, victory to Islam." So, that tells you where they are. And, of course, they're also being aided in their efforts by Iran, which is reportedly providing them with targeting information about the location of some of these ships. So it is a way for the so-called axis of resistance to fight back against the Israelis without putting groups like Hezbollah, which are more important to Iran, frankly, in jeopardy.
How much has U.S. support for Israel, in your opinion, exposed what many see as double standards, while undermining the relationships with very critical Arab allies?
Well, look, we have to admit that this whole crisis was touched off by an atrocious attack by Hamas on Israelis, the largest loss of life that Israel has experienced in its history, frankly, certainly in a single incident. But I think you're also right that the Israeli reaction to the Hamas attack has cost so many lives, caused so much devastation, and the criticism from the United States has been not what one would expect from a country that, of course, criticized Russia so heavily for the loss of life of civilian Ukrainians. So there are double standards here, and they should not be accepted, frankly, by anyone. A life is a life. And the only way I think the United States can redeem itself, if it can, is by working on an end to the war and an outcome that will begin to resolve this question of Israel-Palestine that the world has been struggling with for a century.
So, in your opinion, there is really no military solution, but a political solution?
Yeah, there is no military solution to this. I think that's very clear. A political solution is extremely difficult, but there is no alternative to that if Israelis and Palestinians are ever going to be able to live side by side in peace.